Yo, welcome back to In Black America Radio with your host, Rasta B. It is February 7th, 2020, and today's title of the show is Teflon Don is Out for Revenge. And this is the Booker T. Washington edition, being that this is Black History Month. So, guest calling number 516-531-9992. So let's go ahead and get into this. My co-host didn't call in yet. So when he calls in, I'll punch him in. But yeah, let's get into this. So as everyone knows, the unfortunate news of Kobe Bryant dying in the helicopter with his daughter and other members that was there with them, died. It was a shock to the world, I'm not much of a sports fan or basketball fan like that. So I was gonna let Smoke really touch more on that topic right there when he gets in, when he does punch in. But that was a shock to me though. So it was like, yeah, that was shocking. That was definitely for it to be the top of the year. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that was shocking for it to be top of the year. So I know that's gonna be big news for a while. But that was like very, very disturbing. At the end of the day. Then the news that I can talk about is the whole Gayle King and her interviewing Lisa Leslie and the WNBA basketball player. And she's doing the typical Gayle King, Oprah shuffle. And she brings up a dismissed case, a case that got thrown out on Kobe. And it's like, damn, why was this man didn't even get buried yet? You want to ask this woman about it and then talk in a manner in which she know the facts. She speaks in a manner in which she know the facts. So she's out to come out, like basically the shit came out right to cause controversy before he even get buried. So now the rap community that they used to attack back in the 90s, the relics, I should say, of the rap community like Snoop, comes out, curse around, call all kind of bitches and shit. Now everybody want to say, oh, how you took it too far. He ain't take it too far. They out here, it's the disrespect that comes from them two. It's just like, it's amazing sometimes. It's just like what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But then when the fire come back to you, now you want to cry. That's soft, weak shit. So, all right, so I see we already got Smoke in there. Hold on. So, Smoke, that's you?
Yeah, that's me. Stop.
Yeah, so we got Smoke inside the building, yeah. I was trying to talk about the Kobe death and the Gayle King shit, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to get my damn computer right here. My son damn like, when the last time you been on the computer? He like, I ain't playing. I haven't used it in a while. I'm like, I thought I was like, oh, my shit all frozen up. But yeah, man, that Kobe Bryant shit, man, that was like a shocker. You know, I mean, I guess when anybody dies, it's like crazy. But I heard that, I was like cleaning up my yard. I was cleaning up my yard. Just finished doing that. I'm like, all right, I feel all right. Accomplished something. Then I heard that news. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's like a shock.
Real crazy.
It's like the world stopped almost. You know what I'm saying, when it happened. It's like one of those tragedies, especially like in the sports world. He was mad young. Like 40. Yeah, like 41. You know what I'm saying? To be as good as he was, he like considered one of the greatest to play. You know what I mean? And like he died at like 41. So I was like young.
Yeah, 41, but not even that. We watched that man grow.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? We
yeah.
watched him. We watched him when he went to the prom with Brandy. We watched this. We watched him when he went from high school to the pros, and them questioning whether or not that was a good idea. Like, we watched the debates. We watched all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We watched that shit. So it's just like, we seeing it. We watched the man get married. We watched the man have children. You know what I'm saying? Like, we watched, you know what I'm saying, the man timeline. You know what I'm saying? So that's the shit. We watched him into the league. We watched him retire. You know what I'm saying? Like, we watched the whole complete. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, you one of them people that, watched another player like, it's like LeBron.
Yeah.
There's another one like that.
You've seen him.
Like, you watched him.
Pretty much since he got on the scene. You've seen him from the very beginning. So,
from the high school, people go watching him play high school, and you know what I'm saying? So if something crazy happened to him, you'll be like, wow, because you're watching the whole progression. It's not like just somebody who you just seen in college or only in the pros and, you're a fan. Nah,
they've been playing all the vintage Kobe Bryant stuff, so like they've been playing like all his like rap videos he was in, and you know what I'm saying, and crazy, just all the shit he was doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Which, like, I know you mentioned in the beginning, like the like Gayle King, or her interviewing Lisa Leslie, and she was dabbling into questions about Kobe's, the accusations of rape. I forget what year it was, but she's interviewing Lisa Leslie, the basketball player, and she's trying to get her to like get into that. You know what I mean? And pretty much everyone took it as a shot at his legacy. Like, it was like an unnecessary question and so forth.
The shit's unnecessary at the end of the day. I'm about to say the shit's unnecessary at the end of the day because it's like, yo, you can understand if it's like, yo, this that nigga fifth rape accusation. He was charged with a crime. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like, come on. This what you talk about?
Yeah.
You don't talk about shit. You don't talk about nothing.
It was almost 20 years ago.
Like, come on.
That was like almost 20 years ago. So.
Yeah,
when it happened, that case was early 2000s.
Not even that it's almost 20 years ago. It also was dismissed.
Yeah.
So we talking, you know what I'm saying? So we talking about charges that got dropped. And you sitting over here bringing up charges that was dropped? Like in action, does that tarnish my legacy? Charges that was dropped?
Yeah.
Like that don't even make sense. That's like somebody always bringing up something, a failure in her life. And they like, Gayle King, remember her? The one that got, and it's like, is that necessary? You know what I'm saying? Is that necessary? You got to keep introducing me like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Yeah, but that just showed you the degradation. Go ahead.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say, like, is that was what showed you the thing about Kobe. It was like Because, like, you know, all right, he had the rape situation or whatever you want to call it, those fake charges, false charges. But then, you know what I mean, like, on court, like, people didn't like Kobe. Like, you know, he was, like, known as being selfish at times. He told on Shaq during that shit, you know what I mean, when they was interviewing, they released the tapes of interviewing him about that, during that rape thing. You know, they told on him or, you know, he told on Shaq or whatever. So, like, in his earlier days, people didn't really, like, you know, you have the big fans of his, and you have people that are like, I don't like Kobe, I like Shaq, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. And it's like, you know, you fast forward to now, he had his whole career, great career, Hall of Fame career. He retired. In his retirement, he was doing a lot of stuff, like, shit with his daughters. His daughter played ball. So he was like running a lot of teams with his daughter, coaching the teams and all that type stuff or whatever. But like,
you know what it is? You take the emotions away. You take the competitive emotion away. So now those you're looking at him as a man now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So once you take the competitive emotion away, you can't keep putting digs on somebody. That digs is just because I'm not a Laker fan or I'm not a Kobe fan, so I'm gonna throw digs.
Right.
But it's like, damn, if the man's dead, wasn't even buried yet, him and his daughter, how you taking digs? Who takes digs in death?
Right.
That's corny. You know what I'm saying? That's corny.
Yeah, zero class. But the thing about it was that you just heard so many people come to his defense, and it's like, at the end of the day, it's like the people gonna let you know who you was. And that's how it was with Kobe. So, like, I mentioned all that other stuff to say is, like, you might have said, like, you know, I didn't like him for this or I didn't like him for that or whatever. But at the end of the day, you hear everyone talking. You know, if you watch, like, NBA programmers, you see, like, individual players talking, like, how Kobe just did some real shit for them. Like, you know, Matt Barnes, another NBA player, he retired now. He got 2 twin sons. So him and Kobe always had like a little rivalry or whatever till they was teammates. And he was like, one day they was somewhere and he like told them like, yo, he gonna work his 2 sons out. Like, yo, bring them down here, do a little private workout for them. Because they was like wanting to get into basketball, but they wasn't taking it like serious. And he was like, well, if y'all want to really play, like his pops is telling his sons, like, you know, if y'all want to be, y'all got to be serious. And then one day Kobe like, I'm going to work them out. So he bring Kobe that. Kobe come out to where they at, and they like all hyped, just like some, you know, like some legendary shit for them. And they like, well, Kobe's a big star. We don't got to do shit like that. And it was like so many people, like everyone talking where they just coming with real stories about how he did some real shit for them. And so it's like when you get shit like Gayle King, they had the other guy, Ari something, the little comedian who did some off-base shit. All of them was getting fucked up because at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant, the people speaking out, he was a good person. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, it's a tragedy, so people gonna be saddened by a tragedy anyway. But if he was fucked up, all of this would be sticking. That Gayle shit would be sticking. All the other shit would be sticking. They'll be talking all the negative on him because, you know, when you gone, that's when those stories start coming out. You know what I'm saying? So that was the one thing I was glad to see. Like, they really. He you know what I'm saying? He was a good person. Like, we don't know him personally, but it's like when you're looking at it, it's like none of this negative shit they trying to put on him is sticking. It's like everybody giving they personal experiences with him, and it's like mad positive. You know what I'm saying? So that's one good thing. And they could try it, but Cole on another level.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? But rest in peace to him and his fam. Word. You know what I'm saying? But but I also want to talk because this is Black History Month. But just to add into a little quick segment real quick. This is a Yahoo article. Just came in today. How do I put that? Last member of the Philadelphia movement was freed on parole in death of officer. So they say the last jail member of the radical group Move was released from prison Friday, according to the attorney who represented the members in their parole appeals. Brad Thomas, an attorney for Chuck Sims Africa, posted on Twitter that the man had been released from a Philadelphia prison. Africa was the last of the so-called Move 9 to be paroled after being convicted of third-degree murder in the 1978 shooting death of Officer James Ramp in Philly. Thompson confirmed via email that Africa had been released Friday morning and was spending time with family. The 9 members of the anti-establishment Back to Nature group were each sentenced to between 30 and 100 years in prison in Ramp's death. The 1978 standoff with police came after officers tried to evict the group from its Philadelphia headquarters. Police had said they received noise and sanitation complaints from neighbors. The members barricaded themselves inside the house and have said they believe Ramp was killed by friendly fire. Police contended that there were gunfire exchanged from both sides during the standoff, but MOVE members have denied returning gunfire. The president of Philadelphia Police Union, John McNasby, said the flurry of paroles in the last 2 years has been painful for Ramp's family. Over 4 decades ago, our friend, military veteran, and colleague James Ramp was killed, he wrote in a statement released by the union, noting that 12 other police officers, firefighters, and bystanders were wounded by gunfire, trying to keep their communities safe during the chaotic incident at the MOVE compound. 7 of the 9 MOVE members jailed for the killing were paroled, starting with Chuck Sims Africa's sister, Debbie Sims Africa, in June 2018. The members of all took the last name Africa after joining the group. 2 members of the group died in prison. Tension between MOVE and police continued after the 1978 standoff, culminating in 1985 bombing of the MOVE West Philadelphia headquarters. That's when they literally bombed the building. The bomb dropped by police from a helicopter ignited fuel from a generator and spread to more than 60 row houses and killed 11 people, including 5 children, 2 of whom were the children of Janet Africa and Janine Africa, members of the group. Both women were in prison when the children died in the bombing. They were released in May 2019. So that's a little Black History news. Black History updates, I should say.
You said that, I ain't see that. You saw that today?
Yeah, man. Just popped up on my radar. You know what I'm saying? Just popped up. Literally just popped up on my. Yeah. So you see, Trump got acquitted. That's some more news going on out here. You know, Teflon.
Impeach.
You know what I'm saying? Resist, move. We're gonna resist. Look, it's Mueller time.
Oh wow!
It's Mueller time. We're gonna get Stormy Daniels to take this motherfucker down. All that, and then like I said, black people looking all silly, cheerleading on the sidelines. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just stupid. I'm listening to like Roland Martin and shit, and reading like their comments. Yo, like I said, when you listen, we sound like children out here debating with each other about what adults are doing. Like you out here debating, like they like, yo, what's going on upstairs? Yo, they like, yo, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like we're repeating shit and worrying about shit that have nothing to do with black people. Right. Literally going back and forth and arguing with each other about shit that affect white people. Shit don't affect us. Shit don't even affect us. Instead of us worrying about the shit that affects us and can strengthen us and make us stronger, we rather debate on the fears of the country. But what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The affairs of the country does affect you, black people. No, it don't. No, it don't. The reason why it don't is because you don't got no control over none of this shit, black people, because you don't got no economy. So all you doing is talking white people talking points. That's all you're doing. It's like somebody. It's like your son in the car smoke, and you driving it, but he think he got control where you going. And then I say, no, you going wherever the hell I'm going. Like, you ain't got no control. You like, yeah, watch, we about to make a left. Look, see, told you we about to make a left. Yeah, all right. You make me turn left, and I'm turning left. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got no control over this car. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we are as black people. So we don't got no control over this shit. So why are we worrying about that? We need to be worrying about our economy, worrying about our numbers. I'm watching the Chinese community in America increase. We already know the Latino community increasing. You see what I'm saying? And we're comfortable with our numbers being stagnant and shit like that. And I don't get that shit. I don't get that shit. I'm sitting over here and shit, I'm just like, so we just cool being on the bottom and complaining about being mistreated. We don't want to do the shit that we got to do to fix this shit, which is strengthen our economy, build an economy, build our economy up, take care of our families, you know what I'm saying, with this economy, produce these things that we're going to be buying for ourselves. I listen to Roland Martin smoke, and I hear us complain. And I'm like, all this shit that we're complaining about, like I'll hear shit like, listen to how they talk about black people. The reason why you care about how somebody talk about you is because you need them.
Yeah, that's real.
Right or wrong, right? Right or wrong. If you don't need that person, if a homeless person is sitting over here talking shit about you, you gonna argue with them? A homeless person? Like, that makes no sense. You only mad. The only reason why we mad and we give a fuck what white people and everybody else say and think about us is because we need them. So that's a weakness.
Yeah, we get our information from them. We watch shit through their lenses. So it's like, we're going to see that. That's going to be on our radar. Because we watching white programming, we watching, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, we need them. We live in their society. We get bread off of their economy. You know what I'm saying? They got to hide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why it matters.
Yeah.
Or at least we let it matter because of that.
Yeah, but we put ourselves in these positions and shit because a lot of times we don't know. We raise our children not to know. So when you raise your child not to know, they end up raising children that don't know. They end up raising children that don't know. You see what I'm saying? So then you end up not knowing what the hell's going on. Because you just sitting over here and shit like this, like, well, well, I don't know. Why aren't you working within your community? I don't know. Or the ones that try to work in their community, they have the old 1990s shit going on. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes shit like, yeah, so what we got to do, got to come together. And as a people, as a community, see, if we all put our monies together, $50 a piece, you know, all this old 1990s black rhetoric.
Kumbaya.
Then, you know, it's like all of that shit don't work. None of that shit works. You see what I'm saying? The shit for us to work, we have to understand, one, what type of business has to be made and created. And when you understand that, you're going to understand you don't need everybody to come together. Right? We need businesses that's producing / competing against, but producing things that we all use. So of course we're talking toilet paper, right? Of course we're talking your skincare products and lines of shit. Of course we're talking forks, spoons, plates, and knives and shit, making that. Of course we're talking pots and pans and, you see what I'm saying? Like, we have to be making products. And then you can get these shit wholesale and shit like that, because how you do this shit is, when you're getting these products, it's not even like it has to be done on a level of, this is, black owned, black this, black that. No, you the black person with the factory. You're making the shoes. You're making the comforters, the sheets. You're making the couches or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're making these things from your factories. You're hiring people. Once you're hiring your people and you're employing people, you have these fields that's growing your chickens, farming your fish. You know what I'm saying? And those fish farms, like Claude Anderson was saying. And you farm these shits. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just one person. It's industries. It's multiple industries. And then when you have these things, like the black farmers and things of this nature, it's the strategy in which you use. It's the strategy that you have to use also. You can't sit there and be like, oh, all right, white people are selling their soybeans to China. Nah, look for another product to sell in another market to sell it in. You understand what I'm saying, folks?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Basically, you trying to get money from everywhere, from all angles. You can't really just limit yourself to...
No. It's not. Nah, it's not getting money through all angles. Get that black nation locked down. You see what I'm saying? Supply your shit to these black nations, to your Jamaicas, to your, you know what I'm saying? Because if that's the open market, that's the angle I'm coming from. If that's the open market, why compete with the big companies to make soybeans to send to China? Nah, let the white boys have them contracts. Get them other nations that everybody's ignoring, where there's no competition, and you can lock those markets. That's the angle I'm coming from. That way, when you have trade wars with China, and the white boys all panicking and shit like that because they can't send their soybeans to China, that doesn't affect your market and what you're doing. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I got you.
Like, we got to have a strategy, a different strategy. We can't have the strategy of what white people doing. Look at what they're doing. Oh, they're doing this. They're trading over here with these. All right, but I'm gonna do it a different way. This is how they have their corporation system structure set up. They buy and sell companies and all. Okay, I like that. I like that idea. But you know what? But I'm gonna do it a different way. I'll buy up companies and shit like they do, but I have a different way that I handle. Just like how the Muslims do, right? How the Muslims got a banking system, right? But they don't charge interest. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you got people, Huh?
You said they banking system don't charge interest?
They don't charge interest. Now, if I'm wrong, correct me. But from my understanding, they don't charge interest. So if you take out a loan,
I wasn't challenging. Oh,
no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, generally speaking, if I am wrong,
right.
you know what I'm saying, just correct me. But from my understanding, if you take out a loan, whatever the loan is, you know, there's no interest on it. So my whole thing is, you might have somebody else over here that's like, oh, okay, so when I get a bank, you know, as a black bank, you know, we're going to have, you know, white banks got a loan, you know, loans at 5%. I'm going to have mine at 5%. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're raising it to 19%. I'm going to raise mine to 19%. No, you don't got to. Like, we have to have different strategies. We have to have different ways that we do shit. We can't follow the same ways as the people that we saying they are oppressor, they the devil, they this, they that. They so wicked. But yet, you're just going to be a black version of them. Nah. You just have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, master their system or whatever like that, but you have to do it your way. You know what I'm saying? Your way. That's how you have to do that shit. And then you're going to see the shit move correctly. We have to have our economy. We have to, every industry, everything that's here have to have a black version. Is basically what I'm saying. When you're looking at your TVs and you're watching Samsung, which is an Asian foreign TV, and you're looking at Sony is a foreign one too. What's American made? Emerson? What's American made TV?
You ain't buying no damn. Maybe Vizio.
You know,
but Vizio.
Nah, Vizio. I know, but yeah, I know Vizio. You know.
Yeah, that's like part of.
But the whole point is, when you're looking at these TVs and shit like that, there should be a black version. You know what I'm saying? There should be a black TV company. That if you saying to yourself, you know what, I want to keep my shit black, you should be able to get you a black laptop maker, a company that makes laptops. You know what I'm saying? That's a black person's shit that made that shit and designed that shit. You should be able to get you a black couch sofa maker. You got Ashley Stewart's or whatever, and you should have an African version of that, a black version of that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you know what I'm saying? That's how you do that shit. That's how you compete with the other races. That's how you hire your people. That's how you gain more income into your community and close that wealth gap everybody keep talking about. All of these are games they talk about when they say, oh, the wealth gap. The wealth gap. There's no such thing as a wealth gap. There's no such thing as a wealth gap. That's make-believe. They give you this term and they give you a definition so they can explain something away to you when you're scratching your head trying to understand why. The wealth gap is a byproduct of you working for another race of people that control money. That's what a wealth gap is. You want to know who else got a wealth gap? The parent and the child. The parent who work and probably give their child an allowance. Guess what? There's a wealth gap there. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a fucking worker, then guess what? You're always going to have a wealth gap. You're always going to have unemployment issues. These are byproducts, yeah. But they try to make it like these are issues, and we're going to tackle these issues. These are not issues. These are byproducts. That's all they are, byproducts. You know what I'm saying? If I eat unhealthy, then my body going to shut down. You know what I'm saying? These are byproducts. But instead of them letting you know that, they try to make it like these are problems that you need to solve. We're going to fix these issues in America. Look at this chart. You know, and we just read this dumb shit, and they just feed us byproduct information, and that shit is just fucking weird.
Basically saying that's weird. They make those the issue when that's not really the issue. It's like you gotta go to the root of it.
Exactly. You sitting around and shit like that, and leaving your child by themselves and shit, a bunch of daughters and shit like that in the fucking hood with no fucking guidance and shit, and you keep coming home and your daughter pregnant and shit, and you like, oh, teen pregnancy is an issue in our community. No, the teen pregnancy is a byproduct of your house not having no structure. Like, your house ain't got no structure. You got a bunch of girls in the house, no fucking structure. You leaving to go to work. They home all day, got people in and out the house fucking. And then you're going to talk about teen pregnancy. Teen pregnancy ain't the problem. It's the way you run your house is the problem. This is a byproduct of the way your house is ran. If you have more structure in your home, these boys want to be, you see what I'm saying? But we don't want to get into the root of the shit. The root of the problem for black people in America is not racism. It ain't white supremacy. It's not none of that sucker shit. We have one problem and one problem only. We do not have an economy. That is the only problem that we have, black people. Go ahead, Smoke.
I mean, you pretty much said it, man. I mean, you ain't got no cash flow coming in. You can't build yourself up, man. I mean, we live in a society that is a capitalistic society. And so everybody else is capitalizing off of us. So it's like we work for other people's economies. We get paid for it, but in turn we take that money and fuel everyone else's economy. So it's like we just like, I always say, like, we like little batteries, you know what I'm saying? We go at home and charge it up. But we got to pay to charge up, you know what I'm saying? You go home, charge yourself up, go back out there, stick yourself in the back of some company, somebody's economy, and just build back up. So it's like, at some point, we have to be in that process also where we're working in our economy and we have other people working in our economy. We hire others that come in. It'll be just the way that we experience things. It'll be for other people. It's like, well, you're not accepted over there. Well, you can come over here and work the low end jobs. You come over there, we'll pay you. You do those jobs, the same shit that they want to give us. But we up there making the final profit off of it. I mean, that's really the biggest thing. Not so much putting somebody in a certain position. It's more about just getting the base profit. Like, at the very, when they first start making money, we never there. We always at the bottom portion. We get the crumbs. Yeah. And that's just because we're not the owners. You know, we don't control a market. As black people, we don't have a market that others come to us to look for. It's like, you know, like if we was, let's say, fishermen or something like that, we have a certain area where, you know, you come into this area, we got black fishermen, black merchants, you know, whatever. And, you know, you could take any market that you can think of in the United States, or just, you know, and we not players at the top. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes back to what you was just saying a few minutes ago. We don't have a account.
And the funny thing about it,
so we all work.
Just to add on to your fisherman analogy, the lake is owned by black people. But the other group come to the lake and get the fish. And we can't do nothing about this shit. We just sit there, and then we got to buy it from them. But we own the lake, and we till the lake. We make sure the fish float and all of that good shit. When it comes to fishing, they get the fish, clean it up, and sell it back to us. And it's like, you know, how is this working? But it's working only one way, because we allow that shit to happen. You know what I'm saying? We allow that shit to happen. We watch this shit. That's the shit that kills me, though. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, a lot of this shit is the gatekeepers, boule, or whatever you want to call them, misguided. It's the 10% who know and do the misguided. You know what I'm saying? And I can always tell, because, like I said, I grew up in it. So when I'm listening to people, they start telling me, like, I break stuff down in years. So if I'm starting to hear shit that I remember hearing in my teens, I'm like, wow, okay, so now y'all repeating shit. You just regurgitating some shit that sounded good back in the day. To all the babies that have never heard this shit. They never heard this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I be noticing and shit like that. But I'm sitting over here and shit like that, and when I hear it, that's when I notice, like, oh, okay. So nobody's really doing knowledge. They just talking. Because there's no way in hell you could be old enough to know, doing the math and the science and studying and reading the books and all kind of shit, and ain't figure out. Like they say, it's the economy, stupid. It's the economy, stupid. The black economy is dead, and because it's dead, we have to be submissive to other races of people to eat. You know what I'm saying? And then the ones who don't want to do that, and they like, yo, I'm not trying to bow down to these fucking other races to eat. They stick the police on them. Send them to jail. They send them to jail. They got to risk their life. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's the situation that we're in. But these are byproducts. This is not something that you got to hear Jesse Jackson and black politicians talk about. And we're going to fight racism. What racism are we facing? What is the racism that we facing? Because everything and anything that you could say, not only am I going to show you how it's an emotional situation, it's a byproduct of us not having. Down the police killing us. All of that is a byproduct of us not having an economy. Straight up. If you think the damn police ain't gunning down them Italians because they don't commit crime, you a fool. You a fool. You a fool. You know what I'm saying? Them Russians, you a fool. Them Russians and them damn Italians in New York committing, they known criminals. But why they not gunning them down? Because they white? No. Because they do get deported. See, we don't get to losing the information. We always stand on the side of being weak black people. So we'll be like, nah, because if they was black, the white man would have done this. The white man, the big bad white man. But we don't even know this cracker does that shit to everybody. He does that shit to everybody, including his own. He does that to everybody. But what happened is black get highlighted. So then we start to believe and internalize shit and say, yo, this is just happening to me because I'm black. Then it becomes your handicap and your crutch. And then you start having these, like, looking at being black like it's a weakness. When in all actuality, you're supposed to stand up to any type of form of aggression or oppression because you're black. You're not supposed to say to yourself, yo, I can't, or somebody going to stop me. The white man going to tell me. The Chinese going to tell me. The this, the that. No, you're supposed to be standing on yours as a black person saying to yourself, you know what? Because I'm black, I'm going to make sure I have. I'm going to make sure I better myself. I do this just to strengthen the race. You're supposed to do that shit. You're supposed to fight. You're supposed to make sure. You're supposed to stand up. If you're being discriminated against, you're supposed to sue. You're not supposed to cry. That's some new shit. All this crying and whining. That's why they pumping the therapy talk, Smoke. That's why they pumping the therapy. Because they dealing with that byproduct again. A lot of black people out here need therapy. Therapy for what? For the byproduct of not having an economy? So once I go to therapy and I get all this shit off my chest, I'm going to feel better going back to work? Like, I'm going to feel better giving my money to another race of people? I'm going to feel better not having nothing to pass down to my fucking next generation? I'm going to feel better because I got it off my chest? So I got more room to fill it back up? Like, come on, man. That shit weird, Smoke. That shit weird, man. It's all byproducts they're trying to They're trying to hype up and manifest all the byproducts. Make that shit real.
Byproduct game.
Yeah. Just always remember that. These are byproducts. This shit ain't real. Yeah. What? I mean, let's break the shit down, even with the racism talk. When you listen to people talk about racism, nowadays, it's emotion. It's all emotional. Somebody don't like you. Somebody don't like you. I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. Somebody don't like you. This person racist. Somebody don't like. Who gives a fuck if somebody don't like you? But you know why you give a fuck? Because you need them. Because I bet you, if a black person from the ghetto didn't like you, I bet you wouldn't be like, oh, what's your problem? Why you don't like me? Because I'm black? I bet you ain't going to say that. So clearly it's not because you know what I'm saying? Clearly it's not because of that. So what's the problem? Why you care that this white person don't like you? Because you need them. That's why. You don't need black people. So when we don't like you, you don't give a fuck. If you go to the white store don't want to serve you correctly, you gonna protest. This store racist. So if you go to a black store and they do the same shit, then the first thing come out your mouth is, that's why I don't fuck with black businesses, because they don't know how to run business. Black people don't know how to run business. No. Treat the black business, I always say this, Smoke, treat the black business like a white business. And scream racism and protest and make the black business treat you better and accept your black dollar. And when you go to the non-black businesses that treat you like shit every fucking time you go into their store, treat them like the black business. And say, see, that's why I don't fuck with Chinese restaurants. Every time I come inside here, that's why I don't fuck with white business over. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't fuck with the Arab business. Do that to them. They start isolating and blocking and boycotting them. But see, we can't because we need them. So once you understand that, you understand that's not racism. That feeling is not racism. That feeling that you feel is called you're powerless. You're in a powerless position. Because people that don't look like you and don't give a fuck about you and money do not help your economy, you have to buy. So when they look at you and they may not like you or they may not even be paying attention to you, right? You're going to look at them and wonder why they're looking at you like that or why you feel like that, and you're uncomfortable because you're in a position, you're not in a position of power. You know self-consciously, every time I spend my money with this person, that their business and their community gets stronger, not mine. That's where that that's not racism. That's not racism. That's the byproduct of not having an economy. That's what that is. So we need to be trying to change that reality, not complain about it every 10 to 20 years. We can't complain about being mistreated. We have to fix ourselves in a manner in which we can be secure economically in this country. Us complaining about being mistreated in this country without building our economy is like a homeless person complaining about being mistreated by the city and they sleeping on the floor. That makes sense? That makes sense, Mo? Did that make sense?
You said.
I said us complaining about being mistreated in America, and not having an economy, right? Us not having an economy, complaining about how we're being treated in this country, is like a homeless person complaining about being mistreated by the city, and they sleep on the streets. and you know how they'll, you know what I'm saying, they be fucking with the homeless people, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. They could run them off, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, right, you, sir, you're sleeping out here in the streets. Like, you know why we not fucking with the other people, right, that's living in them buildings over there? Because they in their home. That's why. You're not in your home, so guess what? You're not protected. So now we're allowed to fuck with you. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's going on in America with black people. We don't have an economy. So the different groups with an economy is protected. And we're outside naked, wondering why we keep getting picked on and beat up on. And then the people that know this, they don't want to tell us this. So then they tell us, they don't like you because you black. It's racism. So then we're like, yeah, let's fight racism. So guess what they say, Smoke? Guess what white people say? I ain't got no problem with black people. My grandchild black. Guess what Arab says? Oh, I ain't got no problem with black people. I'm a people of color too. Look at my skin tone. You know the Chinese? Everybody end up saying they all cool with black people. Now it's like, so what is it? But nobody want to tell us the story. Yeah, everybody, brother, everybody. I understand, yo. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump, right? Yeah. Yeah. But you selling me fucking overpriced old food, though. Aki. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck is going on, though? You know what I'm saying? But we coming up to that last hour, right? So this is In Black America Radio. Guest calling number 516-531-9992.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Did you hear that dog snoring in the background?
A dog snoring? Where?
No, I got a dog. This nigga is snoring loud as hell and shit. I'm like, trying to sit on the phone.
No. That's gonna be on the replay.
I'm like,
that's the replay.
I'm like, I wonder if you hear that shit, bro.
Nah, maybe on the replay.
Hold that.
But this is what I wanted to bring up right here. Now this is Booker T. Washington from Up From Slavery, right? So I want to read his the Atlanta Exposition Address. So I want to read that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I thought they had the year up here, but they don't. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see it. Yes, I'm going to read that real quick. And then we're going to talk about that. Yeah, then we can talk about that. So it goes, 1/3 of the population of the South is of the Negro race.
So 1908.
No enterprise. You said what?
Looks like it says 1908. It's wrong.
Oh, 1908?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, the early 1900s, and we was doing a whole lot of shit in the early 1900s, and that's why they always tell black people, oh, you don't want to look at the past. You know, the further back you go, the worse it got for black people.
1895, that's when it was. 1895.
Right, I thought it had to be in the 18s.
Yeah,
because
1895. They have an opening. I guess somebody did an opening, and they did that part in 1908. I guess like maybe an anniversary or something. But 1895.
Yeah. So it goes. 1/3 of the population of the South is of the Negro race. No enterprise seeking the material, civil, or moral welfare of this section can disregard this element of our population and reach the highest success. I but convey to you, Mr. President and Directors, the sentiment of the masses of my race when I say that in no way have the value and manhood of the American Negro been more fittingly and generously recognized than by the managers of this magnificent exposition at every stage of its progress. It is a recognition that will do more to cement the friendship of the two races than any occurrence since the dawn of our freedom. Not only this, but the opportunity here afforded will awaken among us a new era of industrial progress. Ignorant and inexperienced, it is not strange that in the first year of our new life we begin at the top. Ignorant and inexperienced, it is not strange that in the first years of our new life we begin at the top instead of at the bottom. That a seat in Congress or the state legislator was more sought than real estate and industrial skill. I'm going to read that again. Ignorant and inexperienced, it is not strange that in the first years of our new life we begin at the top instead of at the bottom. That a seat in Congress or the state legislator was more sought than real estate or industrial skills. That the political convention or stump speaking had more attraction than starting a dairy farm or truck garden. A ship lost at sea for many days. You said what?
I said that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And this is somebody coming literally from out of slavery. Literally, you know what I'm saying, dealing with real racism. Literally dealing with that aggression and oppression from white people and from law. The real shit. You see what I'm saying? All right. And then even to add on to that too, Smoke, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe some parts we can't break down and just instead of trying to wait till the whole thing finished. But even with that part too, how funny it is that it's like ignorant and inexperienced. They're saying out of the first year, we wanted to jump straight to the top and get into Congress and into politics and political arenas instead of getting the skills, the property, and the shit that creates an economy. But we want to get the fancy shit that holds nothing. And that's 18 something, right? You said 1890 something is the year.
1895. 1895, 125 years ago, basically.
Ain't that some shit? See, that's why I be telling people, yo,
25.
we don't need new ideas. All we have to do is go back to the ideas from our ancestors and see which ones was working and which ones that we thought could work that did not work. Then you go back to the what? Drawing board. A ship lost at sea for many days suddenly sighted a friendly vessel. From the mast of the unfortunate vessel was seen a signal. Water, water, we die of thirst. The answer from the friendly vessel at once came back. Cast down your bucket where you are. The second time the signal. Water, water, send us water. Ran up from the distressed vessel and was answered. Cast down your bucket where you are. And a third and fourth signal for water was answered. Cast down your bucket where you are. The captain of the distressed vessel at last heeded the injunction, cast down his bucket, and it came up full of fresh sparkling water from the mouth of the Amazon River. To those of my race who depend on bettering their condition in a foreign land, or who underestimate the importance of cultivating friendly relationships with the southern white man, who is their next door neighbor, I would say, cast down your buckets where you are. Cast it down in making friends in every manly way of the people of all race by whom we are surrounded. Cast it down in agriculture, mechanics, in commerce, in domestic service, and in the professions. And in the connection, it is well to bear in mind that whatever other sins the South may be called to bear, when it comes to business, pure and simple, it is in the South that the Negro is given a man's chance in the commercial world, and in nothing is this exposition more eloquent than in emphasizing this chance. I'll stop right there, Smoke. Now, how funny is it that it's still the South where a Negro can be treated as a man? How weird is that?
Out here 25 years later. It's crazy.
How crazy is that? 125 fucking years later. this
I mean,
thing still rings true.
Yeah, those 2 points you hit on, those first 2 paragraphs, you know, they still happening.
And that's some
crazy,
shit.
you know what I'm saying?
And that's some shit.
So
But they telling us it's progress. What about progress, though? All this progress that we're making. I keep saying I should not be reading our conditions. Why am I reading our conditions from something written 125 years ago? If there's progress happening. That's why I be looking at this shit and I just be like, yo, we being lied to.
Because of the first
we
statement.
being lied to.
Because of the first paragraph.
Exactly.
People wanting the political status instead of the real shit. It's like guns and butter.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We want the butter.
Exactly.
We want the butter. Fuck the guns.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't win like that.
You can't win. And the number one thing, what it says, is we wanted to get to Congress and state legislator instead of getting real estate or industrial skill. Industrial skill, that's how you get industry. Real estate, that's owning this property. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Dairy farmers and truck gardens, that's industry. But no, we want to be the politicians and the mayors. Hey, well, let's make Sinetta the mayor. The mayor, if you run for mayor, you can do change. No. But who's telling us this lie? Who's telling us the lie? It ain't the white man.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a buck. That ain't the white man telling us this lie. So it's either you don't know or you manipulate him. So next time you hear people talk like that and tell y'all these make-believe as, oh, nah, brother, if we all come together, if we do this, we vote, they lying. They either don't know or they lying to you. They know and they manipulating you. So let me finish this one off. And then like I said, Smoke, how funny it is 125 years later, this statement still rings true. It is in the South that the Negro is given a man's chance in the commercial world. And in nothing is this exposition more eloquent than in emphasizing this chance. Our greatest danger is that in the great leap from slavery to freedom, we may overlook, here we go again, I'm going to read it again. Our greatest danger is that in the great leap from slavery to freedom, we may overlook the fact that the masses of us are to live by the productions of our hands, and fail to keep in mind that we shall prosper in proportion as we learn to dignify and glorify common labor and put brains and skill into the common occupations of life. Shall prosper in proportion as we learn to draw the line between the superficial and the substantial, the ornamental gewgaws of life and the useful. No race can prosper till it learn that there is as much dignity in tilling a field as in writing a poem. It is at the bottom of life we must begin, not at the top. Nor should we permit our grievances to overshadow our opportunities. I'm going to stop right there. Stop right there. You know what I'm saying? Now, the funny thing about it is, Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois, they was debating. And
right.
So-called black educated scholars would look at Booker T as a sellout. Would look at him like a sellout. Like he kissing a white man's ass. When all he's saying is, yo, we're not ready to compete with them. We're not ready to get to these levels that y'all keep screaming about. Y'all that smart? Because he never said, don't do shit. He said, y'all who smart, go out there and learn y'all shit. Y'all who want to do the politics, go out there and learn your shit. But don't shit on the ones out here who's in the field. Don't shit on the ones out there who got to use their hand in manual labor work. Don't shit on them. Y'all got to learn how to work, make this shit work together. That's the part when he says, you got to learn. Yeah, it's both skills. You gotta learn to dignify and glorify common labor, and put brains and skill into the common occupation of life. Brains and skills, not brains or skills, and that's how we are. We're either ors. We either ors. It's Malcolm or Martin. It's W.E.B. Du Bois or Booker T. You see what I'm saying? It's Biggie or Tupac. We just can't have more radio stations, black radio stations. No, we have to have, this one is the number one radio station, killing everyone else. And it's like, yo, why we can't have 5 hip-hop radio stations? So I can listen to music. You know what I'm saying? Or why do you gotta be either or? You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole shit. Yes, and that's how you dominate. He said we got to learn to draw the line between the superficial and the substantial. So you can't sit over here now, and this is 125 years, yo. 125 years ago. 2020. We still trying to figure out something that was written 125 years ago. So he goes, now, so that's for the black people, right? Now he's talking to the whites now. Let me cut some music on. Yeah, let me hit that music button. All right, check it. To those of the white race who look to the incoming of those of foreign birth and strange tongues and habits for the prosperity of the South, where I permit it, I would repeat what I say to my own race. Cast down your buckets where you are. Cast it down among the 8 millions of Negroes who habits you know, whose fidelities and love Look, let me repeat that again, right? Because this is Booker T. Washington now, right? To those of the white race, because he know how these crackers is, right? To those of the white race who look to the incoming of those of foreign birth, a.k.a. illegal immigrants, foreign immigrants coming to the country. Booker T. Washington knows how these crackers is. And he like, listen, y'all didn't like us. So I know you ain't gonna like these Chinese coming in. So check this out. He like, so check this out. He says foreign birth and strange tongues and habits for the prosperity of the South. Where I permitted, so he's saying the same shit I'm telling to the blacks to do for y'all need to do for us. He said, cast down your bucket where you are. Cast it down among the 8 million of Negroes who habits you know, who fidelity and love you have tested in days, when to have, and love you have tested in days, when to have proved treacherous means the ruin of your fireside. Cast down your buckets among these people who have, without strikes and labor wars, talking about them Italians. You see what I'm saying? This is what he's really talking about. Them Italians and everybody else coming over during with that Statue of Liberty shit. Tilled your fields, cleared your forests, build your railroads, roads, and cities, and brought forth treasures from the bowels of the earth, and helped make possible this magnificent representation of the progress of the South. Casting down your buckets among my people, helping and encouraging them as you are doing on these grounds, and to educate and to education of head, hand, and heart. You will find that they will buy your surplus land, buy your surplus land, right? They will buy your surplus land, make blossom the waste places in your fields, and run your factories. Run your factories. While doing this, you can be sure in the future, as in the past, that you and your families will be surrounded by the most patient, faithful, law-abiding, and unresentful people that the world has ever seen. As we have proven our loyalty to you in the past, in the nursing your children, watching by the sick bed of your mothers and fathers, and often followed them with tear-dimmed eyes to their graves. So in the future, in our humble way, we shall stand by you with a devotion that no foreigner can approach, ready to lay down our lives if need be in the defense of yours, interlacing our industrial, commercial, civil, and religious life with yours in a way that shall make the interests of both races one. In all things that are purely social, we can be as separate as the fingers, yet one as the hand, in all things essential to mutual progress. Now, you know what that's called, Smoke? That's called game. That's what that's called. That's called game. When you sitting over here now and you need your mother's car, what you gonna say? Mom, I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna fill the tank up. I'm gonna be the best child you ever seen. Just give me another chance. That's called game. What Booker T. Washington was saying is, you see them foreigners coming over? Okay. Instead of y'all aligning with them and working with them and teaching them, no, I'm going to play off your racism, the real racism. There's xenophobic attitudes towards people, foreign people that's stranger than them. I'm going to play off of that, and I'm going to say, hey, listen, I know you don't fuck with us, but you don't really want to fuck with them either. They knew. You don't know how they move, how they act. You don't even understand how they talk, but you know us. We've been by your side. We watched your fucking families and your children. We cried. Oh, Lord Jesus, when you died, we stood by your side. We did all of this shit, right? Give us the information. Give us your land that you want to sell. Give it to us. You know what I'm saying? Because you know us. You know we ain't going to do nothing to piss you off, Mr. White Man.
The most loyal.
We the most loyal. And look, if you do it, we'll be just like this in the future. Trust me. That's called game. And people read it and misunderstand the shit and then take it as, oh, he kissing up to the white man and he trying. No, homie, that's called game. That's all that's called. Read between the lines. He's trying to run game on them and let them know because he's asking them to give black people something that's going to benefit us. You see? So he's saying, look, we don't want to encroach on your lifestyle. We could be separated. We ain't got to mix and mingle. The only thing that we need to worry about is what's going to make the country move forward. Other than that, y'all can stay on y'all side, we can stay on our side, you know. Let's just make sure we work together against anybody who ain't us. Deal? Like this is just a, you know what I'm saying, he running game in the 1890 something. That's what's going on. You read it now, you misunderstand the shit. Because you're thinking, no, the power is being in politics. No. Politicians get paid. Politicians are workers. Who are the people that pay the politicians? The people that's in the industry. They're the ones that pay the politicians to do their bidding. That's what we messed up. Made a mistake at. So then he goes, there is no defense or security for any of us except in the highest intelligence and development of all. If anywhere there are efforts tending to curtail the fullest growth of the Negro, let these efforts be turned into stimulating, encouraging, and making him the most useful and intelligent citizen. Efforts or means so invested will pay 1,000% interest. These efforts will be twice blessed, blessing him that gives and him that takes. There is no escape through law of man or God from the inevitable. The laws of changeless justice bind oppressor with oppressed, and too close as sin and suffering join. We march to fate abreast. Nearly 6 million of hands will aid you in pulling the load upward, and they will pull against you the load downward. We shall constitute 1/3 and more of the ignorance and crime of the South, or 1/3 its intelligence and progress. We shall contribute 1/3 of the business and industrial prosperity of the South, or we shall prove a veritable body of death, stagnating, depressing, retarding every effort to advance the body politic. Gentlemen of the exposition, as we present to you our humble effort at an exhibition of our progress, you must not expect overmuch. Starting 30 years ago with ownership here and there in a quite few quilts and pumpkins and chickens gathered from miscellaneous sources. Remember the path that had laid from these to the invention and production of agricultural implements, buggies, steam engines, newspapers, books, sanctuaries, carvings, paintings, the management of drugstores and banks has not been trodden without contact with thorns and thistles. While we take pride in what we exhibit as a result of our independence and efforts, we do not for a moment forget that our part in this exhibition would fall far short of your expectations, but for the constant help that has come to our educational life, not only from the southern state, but especially from northern philanthropists who have made their gifts a constant stream of blessing and encouragement. The wisest among my race understand that the agitation of questions of social equality is the extremist folly, and that progress in the enjoyment of all the privileges that will come to us must be the result of severe and constant struggle rather than of artificial forcing. And how about that, Smoke? The wisest amongst my race understand that agitation of questions of social equality in the extremist folly and the progress in the enjoyment of all the privileges that will come to us must be the result of severe and constant struggle rather than of artificial forcing. And that's what we're doing now, a bunch of artificial forcing.
You gotta build it. Ain't no way around building this shit. You gotta build this shit up. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Like you can't force people to come together. This has to be an understanding that, like, you have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit has to come out you. And it's going to come through force. Now, let's say in this day and time, it may not necessarily now be force as in physical force, but the way I interpret what Booker T. Washington is saying is more so like, again, it's that economy. So if I'm standing on my own and I'm doing for self, and I'm an asset to the country, right? Then guess what? Oh, that coming together would form naturally, out of respect, mutual respect, not because somebody is saying you have to come together.
You gotta do it.
Have to. You know what I'm saying? That should have come naturally when you're looking at these people and you're like, wow. Like, 4, 5, 20 generations later. And it's like, okay, we could say whatever, but damn, they doing their thing. They running the shots. I gotta go to them for work. You know what I'm saying? What they're gonna do? I'm not gonna let this nigga hire me. Okay, like, is that supposed to hurt my feelings? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we own everything, right? So, what are we talking about? So he goes, no race that has anything to contribute to the markets of the world is long in any degree ostracized. It is important and right that all privileges of the law be ours. So again, it is important and right that all privileges of the law be ours. But it is vastly more important that we be prepared for the exercise of these privileges. The opportunity of to earn $1 in a factory just now is worth infinitely more than the opportunity to spend $1 in an opera house. So again, the opportunity to earn $1 in a factory just now is worth infinitely more than the opportunity to spend $1 in an opera house. In conclusion, may I repeat that nothing in 30 years has given us more hope and encouragement and draw us so near to you of the white race as this opportunity offered by the exposition, and here bending as it were over the altar that represent the results of the struggles of your race and mine, both starting practically empty-handed 3 decades ago. I pledge that in your effort to work out the great and intricate problem which God has laid at the doors of the South, you shall have at all times the patient, sympathetic help of my race. Only let this be constantly in mind, that while from representation in these buildings of the product of field, of forest, of mine, of factory, letters, and art, much good will come. Yet far above and beyond material benefits will be the higher good, that, let us pray, God will come in a blotted out of sectional differences and racial animosities and suspicions in a determination to administer absolute justice and a willing obedience among all classes to the mandate of law. This, coupled with our maternal prosperity, will bring into our beloved South a new heaven and a new earth. The first thing that I remember after I had finished speaking was that that was that. So, that is the speech. And like I said, a lot of people mistake that speech, Smoke, to be like it was some coon shit. Like he was out here kissing whitey ass and wanted to keep us being like subservient to them. When in all actuality, what he's saying is, yo, before we jump to the top, we got to secure ourselves first.
Right.
Let us, you know what I'm saying?
It even go back to what you said before, because even if you do believe that, it's a lot of truth in here. So it's like when it comes to us, it's like we can't just throw away the whole, the whole thing because of one part we might not like. Because it's like, all right, I get it. You might look at that and you say, well, you know what I'm saying? All right, this nigga kind of cooning, you know what I'm saying? But even if you retract that part from the speech, he's still speaking truth in there. So it's like those are the things that we need to like pull from and really use those as like inspiration on how to move and shit, instead of just dismissing the whole, the brother whole, his whole get down just because of one thing. But I agree with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? When you observe it from that point of view, it's like you can see where he would have been, throwing the sauce on it, basically.
Yeah. But I'm running game on these motherfuckers. Like, that's how, when I'm reading this shit, that's how I'm interpreting this shit.
He's like, he like, they got it. We trying to get it. They're like, look, if we get some, you know what I mean? We got to do this. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. That's the whole shit. Is like, we got to start. Like, we can't just jump to the top. We got to start from the bottom and secure our base. And then slowly bubble to that top. That's why the Chinese is the second largest economy. It started from the bottom. They got all them factories. They started from the bottom. Next thing you know, you blink your eyes, and they out there making demands. Riding around.
Time moves fast. You know what I'm saying? It's slow, but it's fast at the same time. It's like when you building a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, that shit go by. But also, if you're not doing shit, that same time will fly by. So you might as well be working. You might as well be attempting to build that shit. Because either way, the time's going to go by. And it's going to be longer and longer.
That's what
it's like, the real thing about not the real thing, but like one of the main issues about, you going over that speech and shit like that is the time frame. That shit was 125 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't 20 years ago. It's 125 years ago. And so when you see that what he's trying to pinpoint in his speech, as like issues and things, solutions, is like, the problems are still the same. And it's like 125 years of zero progress. That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's the part that really makes things. No,
you hear everybody keep screaming. They keep screaming, progress, progress, progress. We're moving forward, especially black women.
Right.
Especially black women. They'll tell you in a heartbeat, progress, new time. The Democratic Party and so-called progressives and shit. We have a new objective and all kind of shit. How? When did the black situation change? So that at the end of the day, you got to say to yourself, do these people not know, or are they lying to you?
They gotta be lying.
Yeah,
they got to
be.
Lying. This is 125 years ago, bro.
Yeah, and nobody peeped that. Nobody. See, that's the shit I don't like. So nobody gonna sit here now. All of these Eric Dysons and everybody. Nobody sits here now. All these book readers and all this shit. Nobody sits here now, and they say, "Hey, are we following what Booker T. Washington was talking about?" I mean, the man did found Tuskegee. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he was some radical black revolutionary. He founded Tuskegee. So how y'all don't look back at Booker T and study the man game plan? You know why? They don't look at this shit as a strategy. They don't look at it as we're at war. They don't look at it as nothing to brainstorm and think. So that's why we cry about what white people do. Why? Because we need them. So when white people now turn around and they're looking at their situation and they're like, yo, all of our fucking daughters and our sons, they hopped up on all this opioid. Our whole fucking workforce is goddamn fucked up. Did anybody pay attention to this shit? Our whole generation's fucked up. Yo, so what we gonna do? Yo, we gotta fucking get these niggas inside some type of rehab, and we gotta fucking make sure all of these damn paramedics got Narcan to bring them back to life if they die. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. Look how white supremacy works. Look how white supremacy works. See, when we was on crack, they locked us up. But when their kids is on drugs, what you think they're going to do? Lock their kids up? That's not white supremacy.
Yeah, they controlling us.
This is their economy. This is their economy. So they're going to look out for their people. But see, we're workers. We don't want to be owners. We want to be workers. We rather, like Booker T said, we rather spend our money at the Opera House.
And
you know
write poetry.
Write poetry and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all we want to do. We want to get into the arts and paint and make songs and music and all kind of shit like that. We don't want to get our hands dirty. Yeah, yo, you can look at it right now. Read Booker T up from slavery read the man's speeches and shit, break down what it is that he's saying, and then compare that shit to the boys nowadays who have fashion arguments with each other. They have fashion arguments with each other. You think they know about a dairy field? You think they know about industry building? You think these dudes? Come on, these dudes is out here. They want to be pretty. That's what they are. Look at T is talking about industry, economy, getting their hands dirty. These boys get their nails painted. They're getting their nails painted. We gotta go back to the drawing board. We gotta go back to the drawing board. When you reading from these brothers and these sisters, you gotta remember they're no different than you. They're living in a time and came up with a solution for that time. If we do this, we will benefit in this manner. Somebody else come up with an idea, and they say, I disagree with your idea. My idea is this. If we do this, then this will happen. We're supposed to study that and try it out and see which parts can we use and which parts do we not use. We're not supposed to take everything and say we're taking his approach only and that. No. These are guidelines. These are strategies. Martin Luther King did not say, black people, we need to march. No. Marching was a strategy. That was a strategy. They realized they had to prove to white America that white people was racist towards black people. White people. How could white people find out if black people was racist? I mean, white people was racist towards black people. How? They go down south, they ask white people say, we're not racist. They find a black person, they tell them, come here, and say, Jethro, how we treat you, boy? To this 60-something-year-old black man. How we treat you, boy? Oh, you treat me good. Treat me good, sir. Mighty fine, sir. See, we ain't racist out here. That's how they used to do that shit. So Martin Luther King, like, oh, y'all not? All right, bet. This is what we're going to do. We're going to decide a set of group of people. We're not going to fight, no violence, because if we use violence, they're going to use that to justify why they fought us. See, that's the part they don't tell you. They try to make it, he was on some non-violence shit. No, the whole non-violence is a strategy. Because if somebody is saying, because if you fight, then I could say, no, these niggas came here into our fucking diner and start swinging on us. You know what I'm saying? But if they're just sitting there at the counter asking politely for a milkshake or whatever like that, and y'all doing the shit that y'all was doing to them, y'all look like animals. Y'all look like beasts. Y'all are an embarrassment to the white population. Remember, this is on TV. So Martin Luther King used a strategy with the nonviolence, with the movements and all kind of shit. That was a strategy. But see, that's what we don't understand. That's what we don't get. So now you got these characters who want to act as if, you know, they're honoring Martin Luther King and shit like that. Yeah, we're going to march. It's an injustice for black people. We're going to march. We're going to march. We're going to have a protest down here, black people. We're going to march. And march and do what? What the hell are you supposed to be marching and doing? Doing what? What is your strategy? Martin Luther King had a strategy.
Right.
Our strategy is marching. Go ahead, Smoke. Strategy is to march.
That's sad, man. Shit gotta change.
Like shit don't even make
it's like you just go back to just what you were saying earlier, man. It have to be intentional. It's like all of this have to be intentional. Like the people that the so-called leaders, these politicians and shit, they have to be intentional that they lead us in one direction instead of the other. Like the focus ain't building. It's all politics. That was a good article. A good speech that you went over because this cat talking about we rather write poetry. So you see, like with our youth, we want to rap. You want to rap and sing and do shit like that. You know what I mean? Nobody doing nothing with the money. You know what I mean? It was like 125 years. I think to me that's like the biggest key you take away from it. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is how long we've been having these issues that we complain about, and then we're not sticking to strategy. We're not building the strategy. We're not having an agenda. So it's like pretty much another 125 years is gonna go by if we continue, with this type of with these type of lives. You know what I'm saying? It's like another 125 years to go past, and we're gonna be in the same situation. The players might be a little bit different, who might be running the show. Some people might be more powerful, but we guaranteed to be in the same position. We guarantee.
Well, what's gonna happen is this. It's gonna be some of us. We're gonna be sitting over here talking about the white man and blaming the white man and shit like that, and then you're gonna see the new younger blacks gonna be like, y'all on that white man bullshit. Yo, you don't notice the black and the white? We teaming up because these foreigners they kicking our asses now.
Right.
So now we're gonna be trying to figure out from the drawing board now how to come back up, and it's like, nah, man, I ain't trying to deal in that type of reality. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to deal in that type of reality. I just don't understand how we don't get it, but I understand also because it is when you don't know that you're supposed to know that, then how you supposed to know? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you moving around fucking in the army suit and fucking getting the orders from your army person and they telling you, yo, all right, now take your ass to this fucking nation and gun down anybody fucking moving. And you shooting and shit like that, you take off your mask and shit and you find out you in Brooklyn. You was gunning down your own, you know what I'm saying? They told you was in another country though. You know what I'm saying? So you thinking these are some foreigners and shit and don't even know, nah, you in your own country. But you doing the bidding of what the military told you to do, you know what I'm saying? That's how we are now. We do the bidding. We're just that, like you were saying, with the battery. We just took the current for America. Politically, for the prison industrial system, for the corporate system, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just the current. We just go with the educational system. We just the current. So we go inside here now. We give it juice. We give it energy. We give it light. But we don't benefit off that shit. We just let it go. And we complain about it. But then every Monday we wake up and go back to it. You know what I'm saying? We go back to it. Because if you pay attention, we in every field. We're in every field. It's hard. It's really hard pressed to see a field that black people isn't in. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, so it's not. We just not people. We're never going to be at the top without an economy.
Right.
And you know what?
Right.
It's like this.
Exactly.
It's like being on a race car team, right? And and you letting this team winning all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You're a coach or whatever. This team winning all the fucking trophies and shit, but you recognize that you don't own the car. You know what I'm saying? The driver, like none of this shit. You coaching the shit. But
right.
guess what? If you want to win, you got to get your own car on the track. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. So for us to win, we have to have our economy. We got to build that shit. It's going to take years, hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? But we got to start. And we got to build that economy. And when you build the economy, this is how the game works. That's how you compete with the other races. Because once you build your economy, guess what? You need corner stores. So the up north now can get the corner stores and get the products from the black factories down south.
Right.
So now we control the freshness of the food and we control the prices. Now the blacks up north, who's on the food stamps and shit, can get the food stamp money going to the black corner store instead of going to the Arabs and shit like that. And now you're getting you know what I'm saying? Now you're patronizing black business like that. Boom. That money stays within the black community. Guess what? That Arab goes out of business. That Arab goes out of business. Now he's in his home. He in his community. Got to look for work. You see what I'm saying? If he can't get work, he got to go back to fucking wherever he's from, or he's gonna be out here committing crime.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying? Now you put him in the criminal life. We're not in the now we're exchanging roles. Let them be in the criminal spotlight. You know what I'm saying? And deal with the fucking cops and police and shit like that. Now we locking down the corner stores. Now we locking down the trucking industries because we need to get the trucks to go from these different places down south back to up north. That's more jobs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're doing this shit and you have this shit set up like that, if your product is superior, it ain't just black people buying your shit. It's going to be white people buying your shit,
everybody.
Chinese, everybody. Because it's superior product. Yeah. So when you hearing, don't eat the spinach because it got salmonella. You already know, oh, well, I don't eat that type of spinach from the commercials. I eat this type right here because their shit be fresh. So you don't got to advertise black owned. Nah, you just have to be black owned. You don't have to advertise.
Yeah.
As long as your product is superior, yeah, you get that paper. That's how you transfer wealth from their community back to our community. That's how you transfer wealth. You see what I'm saying? That's how you expand. What do we know about white people? We know they always have recessions. Like, they love recessions. So guess what? When they have recessions, like that, it's so weird. They love fucking recessions. But when they have their recessions, you buy all their shit that's cheap. You buy that shit up. They end up closing factories. Their farmers go bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? Buy up their land. Expand your farms and shit like that. That's when you start to do your buying their shits up. Get their factories. Get their businesses. Get their properties. You know what I'm saying? Then that's how you expand in America. Then when you're hearing, oh, there's a shortage of affordable homes in America, guess what? Black people own this many percentage of the property in America. You see what I'm saying? And now you control who gets to rest their head and who don't. You control that. So you don't got to see black people out here, you know what I'm saying, paying no exuberant fucking rent and all kind of shit like that. Because trust and believe, everybody ain't paying the same amount of rent where they live. Believe that shit. Black people always gotta end up paying more. So why we can't make up a system where we pay less? So that means we could make up a system where we pay less. If we had an economy. If we had an economy. That's the whole purpose. If we had an economy. But no, we don't want to deal with the economy. We want to deal with the foo-foo-la. We want to write the poems. Make the music. Renaissance man. Keep it a bap a doo ba doo ba da boo boo. That's what we want to do. we don't want, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to create and control and dominate. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Nah, we don't want to do that. We just want to fucking tap dance and fucking scat and you know what I'm saying, and all kind of shit and entertain. And it's like, come on, man. Crazy shit, yo. But we gotta change that. And that's why I always say, if you're too old to do it yourself, or you're not in that position to do it yourself, teach that and preach that to your child, to the babies. Let them feel that energy. You know what I'm saying? That energy. Let them feel that. You know what I'm saying? Let them understand that that's something that they need to look at. And I always say this, Smoke, when it comes to spending when it comes, you know, I think I lost my train of thought. But the point is, no. Well, I don't know. Maybe I did lose my train of thought. But the whole point is, you got to teach it to the babies. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing at the end of the day. If you can't do it, teach it to the babies. Because they're the ones. I was talking about the business. We got to stop thinking that the businesses that we need to be looking at. Not to say you shouldn't do it. Do what's in your heart. But we need industries. We need something that you're producing something to such a scale that you need to hire, you know what I'm saying, 16, 20, 10,000 people, you know what I'm saying, 500 people or whatever like that. Like, you got to hire a large amount of people, you know what I'm saying, like, for your product. You're shipping shit, you know what I'm saying, products, frozen pancakes, you know what I'm saying, something where it's competing against everything. And if you want to know what it is, just look everywhere. Curtains, look anywhere. Anything that's being sold, there should be a black alternative for it. If it's not, that means there's a market for it. And that's how you should look at it. So yeah, we coming to the end right now. Smoke, so you want to do your closeout?
No, man. another good show. I like that. I like this show. Black History Month, you know what I'm saying? Nailed out for Black History. And just do what we do. But it's another week, you know what I'm saying? I know I ain't been on in a hot little second, so I'm just happy to be back. And, you know what I'm saying, the cats that's out there listening, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for tuning in again, you know what I mean?
That's right. Go to that YouTube, in Black America Radio, you know what I'm saying? And, yes, you know, dope show and all that good shit. Enjoy your weekend. And keep it black. See y'all next week. Peace.
Bye.